What's up guys, this is my first video and it is going to be on none other than Joe Montana 16 football. This game has a ton of controversy surrounding it and the way that they are marketing it. They'll release screenshots here and there with not much concrete information. A lot of gamers think that the game is being developed by Microsoft Studios and it's going to be an Xbox One and PC exclusive. However, we don't know any confirmed information yet other than the little bits that developer Damon has released to us through Twitter comments and even in some of the Simulation Football League streams. So first things first, Damon has released a new screenshot on Twitter, and it looks to be of a player that is on Joe Montana's team in the game. His uniform is consistent with Joe's uniform in all of the screenshots that have been released so far, and it actually looks pretty great. The character model is well done and there's a lot of detail in the face, and as many of you know, they're spending a lot of attention to detail on this game with things like the sweat pooling and vein dilation, which Damon released a GIF of a while back. So now that that's out of the way, I just wanted to offer a fresh take on something that I've thrown together. Of course, it's still all speculation, but it's a little different than everything that's been posted on Operation Sports and on Twitter and everything like that. And I have not personally seen this take be presented yet, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's pretty well known by now that Damon and whatever company he's working for that's developing Joe Montana 16 is working out of an incubator facility called Runway in San Francisco. However, what's really interesting to me is that Natural Motion Studio, the developer for the game Backbreaker, the unlicensed football game that came out a few years ago that used the Euphoria engine, the physics-based engine, their United States Studios is also based in San Francisco, and if you look at this map, you can see that the Runway and Natural Motion Studio are virtually just blocks away. It says that it takes about 10 minutes driving distance, 12 minutes by bus or whatever. So personally, I just find it very interesting that these studios are so close together. Now what's also interesting is Natural Motion describes itself as a British software company, and while they have offices in San Francisco, their other offices are in Oxford, London, and Brighton, which are obviously all in the UK. But the thing that's really intriguing about this, as well as the offices in San Francisco being so close together, is Damon also released a tweet a while back that he was in northern England for a meeting, and he also posted a picture of assumingly the building that he was having this meeting at. Now, I don't know how they divide that country up in terms of northern England and southern England, but if you look at Oxford, Brighton, and London on a map, they all tend to be in the southern side of England. So this is all speculation, of course, but it could have a tie-in somehow, but we'll just have to wait and see. I just thought it would be interesting to present this take. So something that could potentially be significant and tie into all of this is the gameplay screenshot from Joe Montana 16. The character models obviously look a lot more realistic than the Backbreaker character models. The Backbreaker character models were made to look very arcadey and more fun than realistic. Now, Backbreaker was more of a technology demo for the Euphoria engine than it really was a full-fledged football game, but it was still fun, and it still presented a new technology to sports gaming that allowed for a sometimes very realistic experience on the field in terms of tackling and physics, but it was also very quirky at times. There was a lot of weird stuff going on, kind of like what happened when Madden introduced their physics engine a couple years ago. Just a bunch of players falling out of nowhere and tripping over each other. So it was a great tech demo, and it arguably also led to Madden's release of their physics-based engine because gamers really enjoyed the Euphoria engine in Backbreaker, and even though it had its quirky moments, it still had some very realistic and fun tackles and physics in it. But going back to what I was saying, if you look at the Joe Montana 16 screenshots compared to the Backbreaker screenshots, obviously Joe Montana 16 is trying to strive for simulation football in all aspects, whereas Backbreaker was just pretty much just showing off the Euphoria engine, and their character models were somewhat of an afterthought, I would say, but they were made to look arcadey for a reason. But if you look at these screenshots side by side, what I tend to notice is that both of the player models in both games have blocky features, and that's not a bad thing, it's just a comparison. If you look at the leg, like the lower body specifically, you'll see that the butts of the players look very similar. They're very squarish, and that could also be another tie-in to Joe Montana 16 having some sort of tie to natural motion. Now, one more comparison I want to make for these two games, Backbreaker and Joe Montana 16, is Backbreaker was published by 505 Games, and what's really interesting is that a couple of their upcoming titles that they're releasing, one of them being called Adrift, they are utilizing the Unreal 4 engine, and a couple of their games are also going to be utilizing the Oculus Rift and the virtual reality system that they're offering, which Damon has also tweeted about how he's received Oculus Rifts, and he's also spoken about an article where NFL players have used the virtual reality technology to kind of like a new way to study film. So while that doesn't necessarily tie in with Joe Montana 16, it's still very interesting that it seems like at this point Joe Montana 16 will utilize the Oculus Rift, which ties into the 505 published games. Now, this doesn't really explain the Xbox One rumors and how Damon follows Xbox and all that on Twitter, and how Joe Montana just tweeted about being at Microsoft Studios. In my opinion, while it does look like at this point that the game will be an Xbox One exclusive, potentially with the PC as well, just due to the fact that the whole Microsoft and Xbox rumors and all that. But the reason that they could be working with Microsoft so closely is for the Oculus Rift technology and Windows 10 coming out with the virtual reality and stuff like that. So that's something that we'll just have to wait and see. But I just thought that I would throw this video together to maybe potentially get more conversation out of the game, and it's always fun to speculate before information is released, and hopefully we'll see some more information soon. But I just had to present this take because I haven't seen it presented anywhere before, and I thought it'd be interesting and maybe cause some discussion about this theory while we wait for more information to be released. So I just want to thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this theory. I just thought I'd put this fun little video together to speculate even more about the game, and hopefully more information will be released very soon. Things will come to light soon enough, and we will know exactly what the game will be soon, but it's always fun to speculate.